need to go for a particular course. If you need that, that's what that one is. Okay. Your profile is from the QCAA, so everything has lots of acronyms to it. So QCAA is the Queensland Curriculum and Assessment Authority, and they provide a lot of information both for parents and for students. Has anybody been on the website? Gives you lots and lots of information. Gives you little information that actually gives it to you in chunk-side pieces. So I just grabbed this one off just to show you. So this one's got the OP facts. And it gives you all of the information in pretty much in a snapshot and answers some of the basic questions for you. It has thousands of pieces of information, and there's a whole bit on there. If you go onto that website, you can actually see there's one dedicated for parents. So there's lots of information on there that you can actually have access to and find. The educational profile was on 12. If we continue, I think we've done that one, haven't we? So what can you study? QCE learning options suit your strengths, interests and goals. Mr. Sharman's already mentioned that. Choose the areas that interest you. If you choose an area that interests you, you are going to do better at it. But also keep in mind those that you need to be able to get into the course or the area that you want. Your school subjects, your vet training, your school-based apprenticeship, which we have, projects, TAFE, university studies. We've got so much options. Your authority subjects, which are the ones that are decided by the QCAA, they're the ones that teachers deliver to you. We have to meet our requirements to be able to do that, so that those subjects which are recognised by the QCAA, we as staff here at Concordia need to deliver those. And we are also kept in moderation as to we're meeting our requirements as well. The results in those subjects count towards your OPs, your overall positions and your field positions for your year group. I think we can go on from that one. Courses of learning include your awards and certificates. I think you've already counted a lot of that. But they all count. Everything counts and can be added towards. We don't do any of the baccalaureate here, but we can do that. Vet and all those. Do we do any learning projects? No. Most Queensland universities and TAFE will offer what's called a bridging course, or they can offer and use 11 and 12 subjects so that you can actually get into a university course. If you complete an advanced diploma, and they also offer, universities offer diploma courses rather than just going in. So there are, as Mr. Sharman said, there are courses, there are ways to get to university. Again, with apprenticeships and traineeships provided, and they can get you towards your QCE as well. Queensland Certificate of Education. Sorry, we keep calling them, but I know it's hard if you don't know what they are. So, how do you choose what to study? Mr. Sharman's already spoken about that and what we need to do. Talk with your parents, talk with your teachers, also talk with people who you might be around, if you're interested in architecture, for instance, if you happen to know somebody who's in architecture, ask them. My daughter actually went and did she volunteered. She thought she wanted to be a town planner, and so she rang somebody up and she said, "You're a town planner, could I come and spend a few days with you?" It was in her holidays, and so she went there and she found out that it wasn't for her. But she wouldn't have known that had she not gone and done that. So if you're interested in vet, or if you're interested in something, it's a really good way to go and find out and just see whether it is actually what you want to do. With your QCE, I've already said you need 20 credits or 20 points, which students get. You acquire those over grade 11 and grade 12. Okay? At a set standard, so you need to have a pass mark in order to get those points. It can be 12 credits from your core subjects, so from your maths, English, science, history or geography, or one of your core subjects, plus you can get 8 credits from any other courses or study. So that might be where you go and do your certificates, your Certificate 3 or your VET courses, or plus other subjects. Okay? You must meet literacy and numeracy requirements, which means you must pass your English and maths as a minimum. So maths A, you must pass, and pass English, okay, in order to get your QCE. Okay? Does that sound okay? A sound pass, which is a sound achievement, which is a pass. So you need to pass those, and then you get those points. In the QCE, where they're organised into 4 categories: core, preparatory, advanced, and enrichment. A total of 12 credits must come from completed courses, and that's usually from your core subjects. They can be 4 semesters over school-based subjects, or a sound achievement of sound level of achievement or higher, VET 2, 3 or 4, and so for all you can do it with your school-based apprenticeship. And so I think we've got an example from one, makes it a little bit easier. Oh no, yes. That's with your VET. Sorry, I'm skipping some of these because I'm not sure that you. Okay, literacy. Sound achievement in one of the QCAA. So English. We are going to be having, this is coming, so your English, is that the...
No, it's we can do English extension.
We can, but we... No, we're not doing it here. Some schools, and English is second language. But basically having a pass in English covers your literacy component. The same with that one in C with your, or C in your QCS test. Now, do we have a mention of the QCS test yet? Should we do that? Is it coming up? Numeracy is in a sound achievement like your literacy, where you need to with your maths. Well, one of your maths, either maths A, B or C. So if you get a pass in that, then it means that you've passed your numeracy requirements. And again, you can do that by having other ways to get there with your numeracy requirements in those, which we don't offer all of those. Tracking your progress. The students receive booklets that come out from the QCAA. We're just about to give another lot out for, we have given a lot out for the grade 12s, but this is an area where you students can go on, and it's called Student Connect, where you can actually go and have a look, and there's a lot of information there and has a lot of answers to questions that you might want to ask. And it is with your learning account. You need to take responsibility because it's about you. I can't get into your learning account. I can put all the data in, but it is part of you looking out for you and checking it quite often. When will you get your QCE? At the end of year 12. If you leave school earlier, it will just depend on how many points that you have, but I would envisage that most of you will be here until year 12 to obtain that. Student Connect, as I said, is a really good resource for you to have a look at and provides a lot there. The QCAA website is the one where you can have this, as that's the parent lounge part where you can actually have a look, and there's a vast amount of information for you that's there, and there's one dedicated just for parents, and there's one there for students. So I would go on there and have a look, and there's a lot, as I say, overloading you with information. Talk to your home class teachers, talk to Mr. Sharman, talk to myself, talk to your staff, go out and find the information that you need. Attend those open days at universities. They're really beneficial. I went with all of my children to go there, and you find lots of information out from different universities. We are having the open, the Careers Expo in 3 weeks' time here, and we have got a lot of people coming, so please come to that. On Friday, the heads of department will be talking to all the Year 10 students and telling them about the subjects, each of their subjects, and what is going to be offered for their subjects. So you'll have a really good understanding of when you come to make your set plans about what each subject has for you and some of the prerequisites for those subjects. So that's this Friday. Okay. Your overall position is that statewide rank order. So they put everybody in Queensland who will be in your Year 10 group, and you will all be ranked against each other. It's based on the achievement in those subjects that the QCAA tell us we can offer, and that's what we offer here at Concordia. It takes into account the different student subjects and the schools, the OP1 being the highest and the OP25 being the lowest. Okay. You do 20 semester units, and it's over your 2 years in both grade 11 and grade 12. 5 subjects for 4 semesters gives you 20 units. We give you this little example. Plus, you need to do, and you will be the last group to do it, the Queensland Core Skills Test. From the year after you finish, they will no longer need to do that. But you will still need to do that core test. Aren't you lucky? You're the lucky lot. And so that's the test that the grade 12s are practicing at the moment. And that gives you, they use that in your overall position as well. Plus you need to complete grade 12. So all of that gives you your overall position. And this is what it sort of looks like. So this looks really good. So for English, so semester 1 is your first year in grade 11. Your first semester in year 11. Semester 2 is your second semester in year 11. Semester 3 is your first semester in year 12. And semester 4 is your last semester in year 12. So it's taken over year 11 and year 12. Okay, so you would get, for each of those semesters, you get 2 points. Okay, so 2 for each year, 4 for the 2 years. So for English, you get 4 points for Maths B. This person has received 4 points for they're very good. They've done 2 lots of maths. And they've done physics, chemistry and biology. Now that would be pretty much not those subjects, but that sort of requirements for our students. If you take those over the 2 years, you choose the subjects that you would like, you take them over 2 years, you will get more than your 20 points. Okay? There is a bit of flexibility in that. And it does depend on whether you get your high, sound or very high. That changes your OP positions, but it doesn't change your Queensland Certificate of Education. You only need the 20 points for that. Again there. So you get your literacy.
That's just showing that this person's eligible for OP.
Yeah.
We've done that literacy and numeracy. Got their at least 3 courses completed over 4 semesters. So 12 they have to do, and then the next 22 credits out of 20 are required, so they're sure to pass.
So they've passed that.
So they can then be awarded a QC and an OP position.
And they've taken the QCS test. So they've.
So this one, just push the next one.
So this one's a little bit.
Yeah. So this one here is just an example to show what various. As this person started Maths C and B and dropped back to Maths A, and did geography, hospitality. So they're interested in English, you're fine because they've sounded better in English and Maths. They've completed at least 3 courses over 4 semesters. They've only got 18 credits out of the 20, so they're entitled to QCE, okay, but they're not entitled to an OP. They've only got 15 OP units for towards their course.
So, I can keep talking for you. Yeah, that's okay. So, with your subject selections, as Mr. Sharman has said, choose the subject you're successful in and you have interest in, and that you might learn. Okay, that's the most important, and that you would like to pursue. Students are selecting, you guys, 6 subjects for 2 years. You must choose an English. must choose a maths. You can take more than one maths. Maths A is the basic level of maths, Maths B is the middle, and Maths C is the highest level of maths that we currently, your year group will have. Okay? And then there's pre-voc maths for those who don't get to that Maths A standard. Okay? But, so you must have English, you must have maths, because that's your literacy and numeracy. You then need to consider what you might need for your university courses. So that's where you need to spend the time in looking at what it might be that's interests you, what could possibly be there. Okay? And that's where you might need to take biology, you might need to take physics, you might want to take a second maths, or you might not want any of those, you might want to do art subjects, you might want to do business. So there's the range of subjects that we have for you are in this booklet. This is what the heads of department will be talking about on Friday, going through the subjects that there are and what is available for you to choose for those subject guidelines.
If you take out this white sheet, it just helps with the subjects there that are listed as authority subjects and authority registered subjects. So for example, you'll see there's a little red asterisk, that's the school, the SA school approved subject, so that would be communication English, pre-voc maths. So communication English and pre-voc maths will give you your literacy requirements. But for students who are more interested in going to a trade, they can use that and focus on some of the other subjects they want to be in, but it also gives them their literacy and numeracy requirements. The other ones down, industrial technology, is probably the only other one that's there at the moment, which is a school-approved subject. So industrial technology has as its focus construction, but it's not an OP subject. So all the other subjects there that don't have that asterisk beside them will give you an OP, fulfill your OP requirements. Essentially in Year 11, we get all Year 11s to start with 6 subjects. What happens is, that gives them the opportunity to, if they need to drop a subject, if for example, I have some students who want to still do their OP but would like to do a school-based traineeship, they can go back to 5 subjects, still meet their OP requirements, but then also do their certificate as well. Or if they want to, if they're not going for an OP, they can do 5 subjects and they might do industrial tech, but they can in pre-voc maths and English communication, but also then do their school-based traineeship as well. So that sort of gives us a little bit of flexibility, because then the students who choose those other options can use that time to catch up on work they would have missed if they're at the traineeship. On the other side, there's also USQ, which offers what's called Head Start. There's also other courses from other universities that Year 11 and 12 students can do as well. And that was the one of the choices there. But I thought I'd just mention that now. If you've got a standard B across your subjects in Year 10, some students may be interested in doing a USQ course. And if you go onto the USQ site, it lists all the courses that are available for Head Start. It takes a little bit to find, but if you're interested in that, USQ Head Start certainly gives your students the option to do a university subject. I'd recommend doing it in second semester Year 11 personally, and then you can do it in Year 12 as well, do other subjects. But what you do is, if you pass that subject, which some of our Year 11s and 12s have done, it guarantees them entry into that particular course. For example, one of our students has completed an IT subject, but that guarantees entrance into that course at university. So it's certainly something to think about for students who want to get that start. I've had students do psychology, I've got 2 students starting with education this year, so something to also think about on the other side is the advanced subjects that you can do outside of school. But we asked all Year 11 students to pick 6 subjects And then we've got that option to drop a subject to give them the time to do those other things that they might be interested in doing. Okay, if you're doing Maths C, we require you to do Maths B as well. Really, it's too hard to do Maths C without Maths B, so they sort of go together. So if you're interested in doing the high-end maths, Maths C and Maths B, you need to do both. And physics, if you're doing physics or choosing physics, you're strongly recommended to do Maths B. It just helps with the going together in terms of the formulas and those sort of things that you do. Field position, and push it all the way, thanks, Wendy. Okay, so field position, we will go through this with students in their home classes. What happens is every subject has a rating in each of those areas. So for example, if I just top my head, if I take Maths A, Field A is extend a written expression, etc., it probably only have a score of 1 out of 5. And then each subject has a rating for each of those positions. Now, the only time it comes into play, because it goes on OP, starts the OP and works downwards, is essentially for courses that have lots of people apply for them. Example, obviously, would be a Bachelor of Science leading into doing medicine, or physiotherapy, or some of those high-end courses. In most cases, you find field positions is not used to break up the students. So for example, in medicine, what they'll do is they do it on interviews, so it's not a good, say physiotherapy, probably the best choice. If they take OP1 down to OP2, they would then look at field positions to pick students out of the, to choose to go onto that course. So in a lot of respects, field position, yes, it's important, but it only really comes into play once you get down in terms of the OP in particular courses. Okay, alternate pathways. I'll double click on that. Right, skill-based apprenticeships and traineeships. Now, what I usually put this up for is I encourage anyone who's got a business who'd like traineeship or apprentice is to consider it. So if you run your own business, it certainly is. There's funding from government for various traineeships and apprenticeships. For students, if you're interested in a trainee or apprenticeship, one, we try and get you work experience with that particular person if possible. So you'll see we put out a whole heap of information on looking after a trainee or apprenticeship subject skill-based. If possible, we try and get you some time there. Usually they ask for a resume. So probably the first step is to make sure if you're interested in doing these, is to get your resume together, and obviously we can help you with that, or your home class teacher. It's really important to obviously also, if you're really keen on perhaps being a carpenter or plumber, because we've got a few plumbers who've got their training apprenticeships, go to various plumbers and ask them, you know, you're interested in doing it. One, can you, as a possibility, and two, if they would like to do work experience, we can obviously work that through the school. So if you've done work experience now, all it means is that you put your form in through us. That means you're covered under the workplace health and safety and your work cover. So you're covered insurance-wise. You can have a couple of days with the employer and so they see if you're still interested